Hey there, and welcome to Mysteries in America, where we uncover the forgotten, the haunted, and the downright chilling corners of this vast country. Today we're traveling to Rodney, Mississippi, a once thriving town with a future so bright it nearly became the state capital. But now, it's a ghost town where the echoes of its past are far louder than the footsteps of the living. Stick around as we dive into the eerie history, mysterious legends, and haunting tales that keep Rodney alive in ways you wouldn't expect. Rodney, Mississippi was built on promise and ambition. Its prime location along the Mississippi River positioned it as a hub of commerce and culture in the early 19th century. Founded in 1828, the town quickly flourished, attracting traders, settlers, and dreamers seeking their fortunes. The river was Rodney's lifeline, carrying steamboats loaded with cotton, timber, and goods to larger markets. The docks bustled with workers unloading wares, their shouts and laughter blending with the rhythmic creak of wooden planks beneath their feet. Farmers from surrounding plantations brought their crops to Rodney, turning its streets into a vibrant marketplace filled with the sense of fresh produce, river mud, and the tang of anticipation. But Rodney was more than a center of commerce. It was a beacon of culture and community. Its theaters and schools were renowned, and its churches, especially the Grand Presbyterian Church, stood as testaments to the town's unity and ambition. Grand events and lively socials drew crowds from neighboring towns, filling the air with music and laughter. Sundays were particularly special, with the tolling of church bells drawing families to worship, their footsteps echoing through the bustling streets. For Rodney's residents, the future seemed limitless, especially when the town came within a single vote of becoming the state capital. The celebration that followed was filled with optimism, as if nothing could stand in the way of the town's rise to greatness. Yet, even as Rodney celebrated, nature had already begun to rewrite its fate. The Mississippi River, once the town's greatest ally, started to shift its course. It was a slow, relentless betrayal that would leave Rodney stranded 3 miles inland. The bustling docks grew quieter, their wooden planks weathered by disuse. Warehouses, once overflowing with goods, stood abandoned, their once proud facades now marked by decay. The river's absence rippled through the town, its economy faltering with every passing year. Rodney's vibrant streets, once alive with the sounds of trade and community, fell eerily silent. The betrayal of the river was only the beginning. The Civil War brought turmoil and uncertainty to the South, and Rodney found itself caught in the crossfire. Union soldiers occupied the town, their presence casting a shadow over daily life. The Presbyterian Church, a symbol of the town's resilience, became the site of one of Rodney's most infamous incidents. On a quiet Sunday morning, the echo of boots disrupted a congregation deep in prayer as Union troops marched into the sanctuary. Though no blood was spilled, the moment left a mark on Rodney's history, and some say, its soul. As the war ended, Rodney's struggles deepened. The rise of railroads, which bypassed the town entirely, sealed its fate. Once thriving streets became overgrown with weeds, and the once proud buildings began to crumble under the weight of time. By the early 20th century, Rodney had faded into obscurity, a shadow of its former self. Yet, in its silence and decay, something lingered, a presence that seemed to defy the passage of time. Rodney was no longer just a forgotten town. It had become a place of legend. Among the town's most enduring legends is the story of the Presbyterian Church, where echoes of the past refused to be silenced. The church, once a symbol of hope and unity, now stands as a reminder of Rodney's turbulent history. Visitors often speak of hearing the soft tread of boots on the sanctuary's wooden floors long after the sun has set. Shadowy figures are said to linger in the pews, their translucent forms watching the pulpit as if waiting for a sermon that will never come. One particularly chilling account comes from a photographer who captured the faint outline of a soldier standing near the pulpit, his uniform unmistakable despite the hazy image. It said that the spirits of Union soldiers, forever bound to the site of that tense Sunday morning, remain in the church, replaying the events of a war that left its scars on the town. But the spirits of Rodney are not confined to the church. Just beyond its weathered walls lies the Rodney Cemetery, a place where the passage of time feels almost irrelevant. Nestled beneath ancient oaks draped in Spanish moss, the cemetery is steeped in silence and shadow. Its weathered headstones seem to whisper stories of lives long past, their inscriptions barely legible. Visitors have described feeling an unnatural chill as they wander among the graves, as if the air itself carries the weight of unseen eyes. Some claim to see shadowy figures moving between the headstones, disappearing as quickly as they appear. One visitor recounted hearing faint, childlike laughter that followed her steps, though the cemetery seemed utterly empty. Others have spoken of glimpsing a fleeting image of a young boy running among the graves, his presence as ephemeral as the morning mist. In this place, the boundaries between the living and the dead feel thinner, as though the souls of Rodney's past refuse to fade into obscurity. The lingering presence of Rodney's ghosts is not limited to land. Perhaps the most haunting tale tied to the town is that of the phantom steamboat. On foggy nights, when the river is cloaked in mist, witnesses claim to see the faint glow of a vessel that no longer exists. The steamboat, its paddle wheel churning through water that has long since receded, is said to be a fragment of Rodney's golden age. Witnesses describe the faint glow of its lanterns and the distant strains of music and laughter drifting on the night air, sounds that seem to belong to another time. One elderly resident recalled seeing the ghostly vessel as a child, its lights flickering like distant fireflies on the horizon. She remembered the haunting sound of a whistle, its mournful call lingering long after the boat had vanished. The phantom steamboat, like Rodney itself, is a reminder of the town's fleeting prosperity, a glimmer of what once was, eternally searching for the port it can never reach. Yet the stories of Rodney's restless spirits don't end with its landmarks. The town's abandoned homes and buildings are no less eerie. Explorers wandering the crumbling structures have shared tales of muffled voices and whispers emanating from empty rooms, too faint to understand but impossible to ignore. One group claimed to hear a low, mournful wail from a dilapidated house, but as they approached, the sound abruptly stopped, leaving only an oppressive silence. Another visitor described hearing her name called softly in the stillness, followed by the distinct sensation of being watched. Even those who experience nothing paranormal often remark on Rodney's silence. It is a silence that feels alive, as though the town itself is holding its breath, waiting for something or someone. Rodney, Mississippi is a town that came achingly close to greatness, only to be undone by forces beyond its control. Yet in its decay, it has found an enduring legacy, a place where history and legend intertwine and where the whispers of the past refuse to be silenced. But what do you think? If you could visit Rodney, what would you explore first? The Presbyterian Church, the phantom-filled streets, or the mysterious cemetery? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed uncovering the mysteries of Rodney, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to Mysteries in America for more tales of haunted towns and forgotten places. Hit the bell icon so you never miss a new story. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay curious and stay cautious.